head coach women's basketball, Jamie Pewinski. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Through the mid portion of your schedule this year, you guys are struggling a little bit. You dropped 4 in a row, and then you go to last weekend's contest here against Ferris State. Back and forth battle the entire way. Pull it out in overtime. Talk about, I guess, the importance of that victory and how you guys got it done.
Yeah, January is a grind. It's a long season, and you're coming off of Christmas break, but you're not in classes yet, and then you got to adjust to getting into classes. And we kind of got caught with 4 games on the road there against really good teams, and we lost them all. We fought. I thought for the most part we played pretty well in stretches in those road games, but couldn't pull out the win. So getting back home was huge, being able to get Ferris here at home and have a chance to really just get a little more comfortable. And I thought, for the most part, we played extremely well. We pretty much just grinded out the win. We didn't play great. We didn't do anything, extremely great where you could say, well, this was the reason why. But we didn't quit. We didn't give up. We kept fighting, and we were down 8 with 3.5. And we got lucky and hit a couple shots, and that's kind of what we've been waiting for, was some players to step up and make some plays, and they did that in the Ferris game and got ourselves into overtime. And again, we've played a couple overtime games, or at least one, and I think we learned from the last time, put our free throws in, and just down the stretch just made some big stops. And we have some situations to learn, how to defend when we're up and what kind of stops we want to get. But we just kept playing and finished out with the victory.
Yeah, you guys have been getting to the line a little more, knocking down your free throws.
Yeah.
Talk about, you guys are you've shot a little better from the 3-point line as well, especially in that Ferris victory. I think was Caitlin Carrier the one who hit a bunch of big shots?
Yeah, she hit the big shots. Yeah,
talk about Caitlin's performance in that game. That was breakout performance.
Yeah, it was her breakout performance. I think she was 5 of 7 from 3, hit the 2 huge threes at the end of regulation there to get us a lead. And threes can be backbreakers for the other team, and obviously they can help you come back a little quicker. And Emily's been doing such a good job inside, and early in the season we weren't able to take advantage from the perimeter with everybody sinking in on Emily and hitting those open shots. And now we're starting to get a little more comfortable and realize what the good shot is. If someone hits one, go back to them, make sure we're going to the hot hand. And Emily's doing a much better job of finding the open people. So that's allowed us to kind of progress a little bit. Obviously, in that Ferris game, that was huge. I think in the Tech game, I think we were 9 for 16 from 3 with Danielle Carrier having her breakout game, and those are things that this group can do. We're looking for a little more consistency out of everybody to have more than one person have a good game from the perimeter at one time. But that's youth. Learn how to play consistently and prepare yourself to be good every night, and we're starting to figure that out slowly.
Last night, you guys started a little 2-game win streak against Lake Erie here at home. A game you should have won by more than you did, probably. A lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
Talk about the turnover bug and how we can overcome that.
Well, some of it's youth, some of it's being tired, some of it's just focusing longer. But Lake Erie, I give them credit. They trapped and they pressed and they forced us into mistakes. And every time we just had a little letdown or got ourselves in a bad position, they were able to steal it. And I don't know. I think it's hard to say we should have beat them by more or beat them by, it should be a closer game. We're not a team that blows people out, and we're not a team that, for the most part, that gets blown out. We're going to be a team that's always going to be in a game and going to give you a game, and we're going to fight down to the end. And, Lake Erie is kind of that same way. They don't have a lot of wins, but they're getting better. I mean, they're much better. I thought they played better yesterday than they looked on film, and they looked better in film the last couple games than they did the first few of the season, and they're really starting to figure out how to play defensively, and they're a tough matchup because you can't simulate what they do defensively in practice. So, the game was pretty much about what I expected. I had hoped when we were up 14 early in the second half that we would have been able to pull away a little bit more, but with our bench not being extremely deep and that pressure and being a little more tired, that's about as good as we could have done.
Yeah, hopefully the injury bug that bit you guys a little bit, starting to get some girls back. What are a couple of things, I guess, give me two things that we really need to work on that you're focusing on with the girls right now for the final stretch here.
Yeah, we're starting to, after the Northwood game here on Saturday, we're going to face everybody for the second time, so that becomes, a totally different ball game. And for these young kids, they've got to make adjustments, and it's not so much adjustments, maybe scheme-wise or strategy-wise, and there may be a few. We'll figure that out, but, it's about just being better. It's about becoming better individuals and better players and playing a little bit better as a team. And in January, it's hard to see light at the end of the tunnel as far as when the season's going to end. You're tired and you're kind of dragging a little bit, and you just don't think it's ever going to end. And it's hard to get better. And now I think as we're heading into February, we're going to have some familiarity with our opponent, so that'll be a little bit better. But it's about our kids really just taking their game to the next level. What didn't work for them the first time around, they've got to fix, and what did work, they've got to make sure they're a little sharper at it. And defensively, I think for the most part is where we need to improve. I think we don't rebound quite well enough. We don't really communicate well enough, and those are the things we've been harping on the most. And as those two things start to get better for us defensively, we may have a chance to do a little better than we did the first time around against these North teams, which obviously is the goal.
Before we go, give us a little preview for Northwood this Saturday night.
Okay, yeah, Northwood, great team. I mean, they're playing great. They're probably one of the hottest teams going. They're I think 3-1 since they lost to Lake State, having beaten Grand Valley Ferris and Northern Michigan, three outstanding teams in the north there. And they're a young squad. They have a lot of sophomores and freshmen that they're playing, and they're long and athletic. They run the floor. Really going to have to play well. We're going to have to figure out a way to stop them in transition and make sure they set up some half-court offense. And then we're just really going to have to be solid. It's going to have to be a team effort. We're going to need everybody to play their best. And it is a rivalry game, so I think they'll be fired up. We'll be fired up. Should have a good crowd, and we'll roll the ball and see what happens.
Coach Pewinski, thanks for stopping by, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.